Unc, when's the next Gachiakuta vid? Give us the Gachiakuta video. Looks like another Gachiakuta video maybe in the works. Where's the Gachiakuta vid, Unc? Release the Gachiakuta video. So, when's the Gachiakuta video coming, boss? I speak for everyone when I say, make another Gachiakuta video.
Please
make
Gachiakuta.
Gachiakuta.
Make
Gachiakuta.
Gachiakuta.
Make Stop. Make a damn Gachiakuta video. Alright. Sorry. Damn. Okay. I know I should have been doing Gachia. Is it Gachiakuta or Gachiakuta? Anyway. My bad. I've been playing Ghost of Yote, pretty good game, and to be honest, time goes really fast when you're a YouTuber. Like, it feels like it's been 3 weeks since I uploaded a Gachi vid, not like 3 months. Last we left off, Rudo and the squad were heading towards Cleaner HQ. This man has known Rio for a good 30 seconds, and she's still playing with his hair. Unfortunately for her though, this nigga Rudo doesn't even know that he's alive. Every time he makes this face, he reminds me of a bug, bro. Like, not even a mean way. Little bro got 2 brain cells fighting for 3rd place. But we finally made it to Cleaner HQ. And yeah, this place looks nice, but the real art is inside. Semiyu. It's the type of girl you meet once in a foreign country at a convenience store and never see again. God bless all the short-haired women around the world. She's actually pretty skilled too. She was able to catch these 2 flies with a fork on some Jackie Chan timing, but her real skill is her vital instrument. She can use her glasses to see people's potential and whatnot. She was even able to see the doo-doo stains on the back of Rudo's neck. Rio must really rock with bro, because she had a 1st class seat to all that and she was still playing with his hair. Bro needs to put Chiwa behind him and move on. He better not fumble. We also meet some of the cleaners, and some of these niggas look tough while the others make me wonder, how are they even on the team? Like, I know this guy right here means business, maybe the cave dweller, but this guy? Is that a baby? We're letting anyone on the team now, huh? Rudo was supposed to meet the boss, but he's out of town, so that'll have to come later. Judging from how Engine was gassing them up though, I assume that he's like that. And besides, all is not lost. Rio invites Rudo to come watch her and the other cleaners work. Bro was out here freezing up. The lights were getting too bright. Not even the trash beast had him looking like this. But he accepts. So Semiyu takes him in for a briefing. And apparently, since Engine sucks ass at explaining, she's got us covered. So shut up! A black woman is talking. Listen and learn. The ground is divided into 2 parts. Safe zones and polluted zones, the latter being where the trash beasts come from. There's also no man's lands and said polluted zones, like the one Rudo was tossed into. Usually, it's an instant death, but Engine was in the area to save our boy. Why he was there, we don't know, but whatever. It's now time to see what Rio can do. Besides her and Rudo, their squad consists of these guys called supporters. But instead of healing, they do a lot of heavy lifting. They're real strong. When the trash beasts pull up, Rudo was acting all scared, freaking out over basically nothing. But look at Rio, she's not even stressed, like calm down bro. But Rudo takes note of this, and he's like,
Alright, time to lock it the hell in!
Lock in my ass! But Rio was ready. Her vital instrument are these scissors. Normally, regular people use scissors with their hands, but this girl was out here moving like Bachira with them. I mean, look at this footwork. Ego writing up a contract as we speak. Supports were also doing their job too. Y'all see this throwing form? Even Rudo was locking in for a moment, using that power of his and letting Rio come in for the finish. And when the big guy was all that was left, she took care of that. Usually trash beasts have the same weak points as humans, so all that cutting she was doing should have taken care of it, but it was still here. No problem for her though. She pulled up, gave Rio a bald fade, and took out his locks. Never heard of a trash beast with dreads, but damn. That finisher was so tough too. Slice and dice, pulled up to the top of the key and slammed it home. She's so tough. But interestingly enough, the trash beast wasn't a normal trash beast. It was powered by a vital instrument. Very peculiar. Now, who would be crazy enough to do that?
No more. I already told you everything. Please, just let me go. Please. Okay.
Ho ho ho.
Green Giant.
Oh nah. Y'all remember this dude? This is the same guy who was trying to sell Rudo on the black market, which ended up being the worst thing that he could have done, because today is gonna be a real bad day for him. Can't say he doesn't deserve it, but sheesh. And this dude with the locks, who the hell is he? King Bond's new vessel? And why is he looking for Rudo? Bro better watch out. Anyway, back at Cleaner HQ, everyone's having a party. It's in Rudo's honor since he's gonna join up soon. Zanka hating ass angry as hell. Ain't bro supposed to be his teacher? Bro joined the party and immediately killed the vibe. Look how happy this girl was before Zanka pulled up. And look at her reaction after he came. Bro's real vital instrument is scaring the hoes. I'm starting to get a lot of Megami vibes from this dude in more ways than one, and I'm not liking it. Rudo wasn't even enjoying his own party. Look at bro. He was feeling down because his vital instrument conked out, and he ended up getting saved twice. He feels like a liability. But this nice guy told him not to worry. He did put his life on the line to help save the other supporters, and he treats everyone with respect. And instead of focusing on his past mistakes and fears, he should focus on what he wants in the future. He's got a family with the cleaners now, and he should relish it. Damn, Rudo is really about to cry. W-Mans though, shout out to this guy. Even so, Rudo won't have to wait long to prove himself. According to Semiyu, there have been reports of another Spirite being found down here. One Spirite surviving down here is rare enough, but two? They gotta check this out. Zanka wasn't really rocking with all this, or the fact that Rudo was coming along, but when he heard Engine specifically ask for him to lead the mission, it was all like,
alright, lock the hell in, guys. Job's not gonna clean itself.
Bro has never been this happy in his life. At first, everything was cool. This lady with the mask led him over to this house where the Spirite is said to be located, and Zanka gotta be the worst team lead ever. That engine glaze was not justified. Dude let this tiny girl push them right into a trap, because as it turns out, the Spirite was not even real. And even worse, they got jumped by the ops, the Raiders. This is Mud Girl and her lackey Baldy. Zanka takes these two, and Rudo and the rest head off to find an exit. Since Zanka was 2v1ing them, I knew for a fact that they were sorry. These two had a gimmick where the woman could control the mud, and the guy would hide inside it and attack Zanka. And he was getting worked for a bit until he figured it out and hit this mean two-piece. And yeah, that was cool, props to him, but he should have kept his guard up. Bro was feeling himself and shit too, just for that King Von vessel to pop out from the shadows. Zanka, whatever you do not turn around, nigga. And you're probably thinking, yeah, okay, Zanka's up against this demon, but surely he put up a good fight and he was able to slow him down. Shut that shit up! But this dude pulls up with absolutely zero damage whatsoever. Not a scratch on the face, not a molecule of dirt on them locks. He just out of breath because he ran here. Look at how he did Zanka. Bro sleeping like he finished the job or something. And you gotta demote him after this assignment, bro. This is nasty work. Pulled up on Rudo, and goodness gracious, he's out here moving like Spider-Man. Someone stop him. Tore down the exit, and this is exactly when I knew that nobody was getting home. Bro made sure he ate all 12 of those King Von dreads. This guy's name is Jabber, another member of the Raiders. He's here for one thing, and that's Rudo. Rudo facials be killing me, bro. I can't tell if he's mesmerized, confused, shocked, or all three. The supporters tried to come in with a double whammy, but Jabber weaved that with a devious smile on his face. Then he got in his hands and hit this crazy kick that knocked away both of them. Oh, now he got YNs moving like gymnasts now. It's over. Shout out to Gris. He was standing on 10 toes making sure to protect Rudo, even though he didn't want him to. But
promise you're not gonna crash out on me, alright? I think he's already dead.
oh my god, he did not need to do my boy Gris like that. Make no mistake though, Rudo was not about to let that slide. Using the medallion that Gris was always carrying around, he finally unlocks his true power, being able to bring out the true unbridled worth of trash. He really turned a random medallion into an all-seeing eye. But oh nah, is Jabber drooling? Regular dudes would see some BS like this and hit the dash, but Jabber is anything but regular. He was geeked.
So, what's it do? You gotta tell me, man. I'm not playing around with you.
This all-seeing eye is able to repel and weave any attack that comes his way. And thank God, because if I saw this fiend flying at me like this, you bet I'd be afraid. And thanks to the talisman, he was able to rock Jabber with that clean right, was giving Jabber straight haymakers. He couldn't come close. This dude moves are insane though, I can't lie. He's really playing for the wrong Raiders, bruh. Jumping 20 feet into the air like it's nothing. Go put on a jersey. Rudo was able to put him on the floor, and I was thinking, oh yeah, we might actually beat this guy. But Jabber's just getting started. As we've seen, Jabber's vital instrument is his claws, and they're coated in poison. And since Rudo's vital instrument can't defend against objects with no soul, he knocks himself out with the poison.
Hurts so good!
This dude really is a King Von incarnate, because what do you mean? He stabbed himself and genuinely got stronger. But he was out here moving like a damn Beyblade. Do you know how off your rocker you have to be to have Rudo looking like this? How does one even get to this point as a human? This backstory gotta be crazy. Rudo tries his best, but Jabber's just too powerful. He was about to end Rudo for good right here, but Zanka finally got back into the fray. He's been here for a while watching the fight, and now he's got a plan. And honestly, this was pretty smart. Instead of having Jabber activate the defense mechanism, Zanka attacked Rudo and he flung him in Jabber's direction, scoring a clean hit. Pretty smart plan to be honest. This junk worked pretty well. They was really putting belt on that boy. cooked him so badly, he woke up just in time too, because it seems that Rudo's powers have finally reached their time limit. But this dude Jabber is genuinely built different, because not only did he manage to get a hit on Rudo earlier, he was able to get himself back on his feet. There is no way this dude is making it past the age of 30. The real problem I got right now though is Zanka. How do you lose to the same nigga twice in 1 hour? That is ludicrous. Jabber ends up taking Rudo away, but y'all already know our boys at the cleaners were letting that happen. Rio posted up tough as hell on those scissors, and Engine came in with a mean check to the gut. This nigga Jabber ain't real though, bruh. Listen to this man.
Here I am, barely standing and vulnerable, and y'all are looking at me like something you flushed down a toilet. Careful now, I can only get so erect.
This nigga is crazy.
Oh nah, bruh, lock this man up, and you is still trying to run a 5v1. But before he can crash out again, one of his Raider teammates pulls up. At first, Jabber tried to stay, but after his teammate told him that the boss was smiling, he get this crazy stare down and said, you know what, it's time to dip. Now that I think about it, the Raiders boss gotta be crazy strong if he has Jabber working for him. You know what type of numbers you have to put up to keep this demon on a leash? I'm low-key worried for Rudo, not gonna lie.
Yo, Rudo, you got some pretty good game for a worn-out, foul-mouthed, butthurt, ratchety, short-stacked spherite.
Rudo heard that junk and immediately teed up. You know he was mad as hell because that poison was supposed to have him out for a good 30 minutes. He had to talk his talk. But in the end, Jabber ends up leaving, taking note of Rudo's gloves, which seemed to come from a certain series, whatever that means. After Jabber's dramatic exit, Rudo was feeling a bit down, you know, with Gris being dead and all. But when they got back to HQ, we see that Gris is perfectly fine thanks to Aisha. When I first saw her, I thought she was gonna be moving like Engine. They had her looking crazy, but she was really a sweet girl and the only healer that the cleaners have, so shout out to her. We also finally get to meet the leader of the cleaners, Arca Corvus, and oh my god, do my eyes deceive me? Another black anime character that doesn't look like a 1960s racist character? Engine, I'm watching your stream, why you trying not to laugh, bruh? I'm kidding, he was just being proud. The boss has heard good things about Rudo, and after seeing all he's done so far, he gladly welcomes him to the squad. My boy looking tough in those new cleaner threads. The boss also tells Rudo that he has a couple leads on how to get to the spear, but it'll be some time before they can get to that. Rudo wants to follow through on those leads right away, but Engine told him to relax. He barely even knows his own powers, and he doesn't even know how to get to No Man's Land. Gotta take these things one at a time. In the meantime, Rudo gets a tour from Rio around Cleaner HQ. Place may be run down, but it's pretty loaded. They got everything you might need. He also gets introduced to something new, sweets. Turns out, our boy never had this junk back up in the spear. And let's just say, he did not hold back at all. Why did he turn into a Reddit user? We also get a little training in for Rudo. Thanks to Zonka's insight, we learned that his powers only work on trash since that's how he brings out its worth. And he's also only able to use about 3 per day before his brain gets fried. Rudo wasn't just getting fried on the field though, he was getting fried off it. Rio came into his room at 4 in the morning to check on him and he froze. The lights were too bright once again. Bro was practicing social distancing like they are in his room and she's not on his bed. Homegirl's out here moving like Spider-Man to pull up to your crib. Lock in. The next day, we see Engine and Rudo talking to the boss and the lovely Semiyu. They have a lead on a woman in No Man's Land who knows how to get to the spear. Before they can go though, they need some more gear. There's this guy named Job who lives in a place called Canvas Town. The best way to explain how his powers work is like an enchantment. He can cast some sort of magic to protect the cleaners while they're out. This power system is so broad, bro. You got people who can do borderline sorcery and niggas like Zanka who walk around with a damn stick. We also meet some other cleaners who are joining in on this mission. The big guy is Doman and the small one with the wicked hair is Tamsy. I rock with him, he got a cool Scottish accent, and Doman is cool too. He had everyone hyped for the mission.
Brand new product. Yeah, I'm trying to get that. Yeah.
Yo, I should have mentioned this earlier, but the music in this show is genuinely so fire. Not only did they have me low-key vibing the Mori Kalopi of all people, but the instrumentals? Listen to this real quick. The game makes it over to Canvas Town, and it looks exactly how I expected. Lots of graffiti everywhere, and people just creating art. Unfortunately though, the artist man they're looking for, Job, ended up passing away a while ago. Quite sad, as he was obviously talented and loved his work. But luckily, it seems like he has a successor, Remlin. Now, I don't even know if like Remlin's a guy or a girl. They never specify it, to be honest, and I couldn't tell you myself. To my knowledge, Remlin is just Remlin, but they're cool. Joe's vital instrument was the type that was able to be passed down. And since Remlin is a natural at this junk, they were able to get those spells done and ready to go. Rudo was also able to get his full mask thanks to this loud guy right here. His name is August. These creations are pretty fire, but damn, he does not shut the fuck up. Rudo was making the same face that I was, bro. Do you know that Aisha is his sister? Practically night and day over here. Our boy was also able to get his cleaner choker. It's like a phone that you can use to contact anyone you shared blood with. And with that, we can finally make our way out to No Man's Land. Back again, and this time with a new squad, new gear, and new powers. Rudo is looking hella clean in that mask too. The thing is though, they won't be alone for long, because Jabber was sent by his boss to head over to No Man's Land too. Not specifically for the woman, but what she might have, some boots. The cleaners make light work of the trash beats. Shout out to my queen Rio. And Rudo is moving hella clean too. My guy used a keyboard to smack down on the trash beats. I know he'd be going crazy on Twitter if he had the app, and their luck just keeps getting better. They didn't even have to find the girl, she came to them. This is Amo, and off rip, I could tell that something was wrong with her. For one, this girl's in the heart of No Man's Land, alone, with no mask, no pants, and no shirt, just a coat, looking like your girl when she goes out to a Halloween party. And on top of that, she refers to herself in the third person. No man or woman who talks to themselves in the third person is mentally sane. She's got a couple screws loose. She's not all up there, but hey, what could possibly go wrong? There's 8 of them and one small little girl. If she does anything crazy, they can jump her. But as they get close to her house, we can tell that there's definitely something up. For one, this girl doesn't live in a house, she lives in a damn mansion. A house this massive in No Man's Land with one singular unthreatening little girl is screaming the words, "Danger, do not enter." We then make it to Amo's room. This girl's probably 15, 16, but her room looks like she hasn't changed it since she was 7, but I digress. And questioning didn't go any better. This girl got the mental capacity of a 5-year-old. Y'all remember how it was when you watched kids shows back in the day, like Super Wide? God, I fucking hated that bastard. Anytime this dumbass would say something, "Do you see the super letters?" You would tell him where they were, and this dumb fuck would look the other way. Oh, you're pissing me off. Anyway, Amo was kind of the same way. You ask her one thing, and she's like, "Let's talk about what types of boys and girls we like." And look at this smile. Do you know how scary your smile has to be to have Rudo of all people shocked? Mind you, this is the guy who smiles like this.
Came for info on how to get to the sphere, not a sleepover. Now I'll break out my onesie if it's the cost of said info. So is it?
Why would you say that? Huh? Why would you say that? 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 Why would you?
Bro? Hello? Mind you, all Engine did was ask a simple question, and this girl wanna start tweaking. Gotta love how nonchalant Zanka is though. He's looking my spirit animal. Bro just wants to go home. I'm also low-key noticing, but Tomei the support girl is low-key underrated. She's hella cute, and she stayed locked in with that journaling. And yo, Engine was not helping.
How about I try and rephrase? Hey girl, how you doing?
Oh my goodness, Valentine! Whoa, no!
Look at my leader, dog. We're so cooked. When Amo crashes out, Rudo notices that her boots have the same emblem that his gloves have. And let's just say, this didn't end too well. Look at these smiles, bro. Someone get this girl in an insane asylum. We can't be letting Queen Vaughn run free like this. Amo has the power to control people with smell. Using her scent, she's able to manipulate memories and make them seem like they're somewhere else, when in reality, they're just fighting for Amo. Basically, a genjutsu. Then this is a wicked power, bro. No nigga, especially no fucked up little girl, should be using this. Had my boy Rudo seeing visions of Chiwa. Come on, bruh. Not the girl who backdoored him. Luckily, Zanka and Tamsi were able to put their mask on in time. And we're able to see the latter's vital instrument, which is a spool that can like grapple people and hold them. A pretty convenient power, especially because we all know that Zanka's bum ass was gonna help. Now for a moment, I was kind of worried because Tamsi ended up slamming them into the ground real hard. But those protection spells were putting in work. Shout out Remlin, so all is well. Even the engine turned out to be okay. I feel bad for Rio and the others though. Probably had some bad memories that they were forced to see again. Without both of her boots, Amo can't use her spells, so she isn't a threat anymore. They bring her downstairs for questioning, but before they can ask her anything, Rudo steps up.
Somebody took their mask off. Miss Amo's smell? All you have to do is ask, and Amo was...
Damn, bruh. This nigga must have lost it. My guy hit the UG face and immediately woke up the spirit of Chris Breezy with that left-right goodnight. I can't lie, I kind of feel bad. Actually, never mind, I'm lying. Smoking on that Amo pack, bruh. We do not care. How dare you touch the minds of my cleaner crew. She deserved every, and I mean every last one of those punches. Out here shedding tears too, like, me. Cry some more, nigga. God forbid you reap the consequences of your own actions. Rudo didn't even care, bruh. Doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl. You mess with him and you're gonna catch these hands. Engine was like, hey bro, that's cool and all, but how are we gonna get that info? And then the reality of what he just did kind of set in. He was like, damn, I messed up. He takes Rudo away so they can have a little chat. And Rudo starts venting about his anger issues, how he has so much stored up hate inside due to his treatment back up in the spear, and how he just feels like he messes everything up all the time and he hasn't changed. And you know what Engine says?
I like hot chicks. Like really hot chicks.
Nigga, what? Bro was low-key spitting here though. As a person, Engine has trouble understanding the emotions of others around him, as we could obviously see his interaction with Amo. And that's something that he had to come face to face with to realize. But Rudo already knows where he's lacking and he wants to improve. And in his eyes, that puts him in the right direction. As far as he's concerned, Rudo is golden. I feel like Engine underestimates his understanding of others. Like, sure, he's kind of crude and blunt, but at the same time, he doesn't understand. Luckily for him, Amo actually started talking. Brody must have knocked her screws back in place, because all of a sudden, she started making sense. We then get to see Amo's backstory. Back in the day, Amo was just a cute little girl, you know, filled with joy and whimsy, unlike her mother, who's low-key being a hater, I can't lie. Not only that, the first and the last thing we ever see this woman do is sell Amo to a random man. Mind you, she ain't even put her in an orphanage or anything either. She sold her to a grown-ass man who looks like this. Now, I'm not gonna be the ethics police on selling your children, but that's just wrong, bruh. At least set him up with someone who looks normal. And it just kept getting worse. This nigga was out here talking about, we're moving somewhere nice and quiet where nobody can bother us. Then took her to a mega mansion out in no man's land. This dude is generally the Epstein of Gachiakuta. Look at the way this demon was looking at her. Mind you, Amo can't be older than 6-7 years old in this scene. Amo ended up living very lavishly, always having new clothes, new toys, and new books to play with, because the man she was with was a trafficker, like the ones we saw last video. This nigga was such a bum that not even his trafficker homies were rocking with him. Do you know how scummy you have to be to have some of the scum of the earth not rock with you? When the man would have his little episodes, he would ask Amo to do quote-unquote rituals with her, even though Amo didn't like them and she didn't really want to. She just went along with them because the man told her that she was in love with him. If Gachiakuta has a hell, I hope this man ends up in the 7th layer. Luckily, he won't be here for much longer. One day after one of their rituals, 2 men ended up invading their house. Obviously, this bum tried to fight back and he got cooked and his boots snatched. But the trespassers simply gave Amo the boots and flew away up to the spear with angel wings. When the man woke up, he tried getting his stuff back, but Amo didn't want to. Mind you, this is the first time in her life that she asked the man for something, and this greedy little goblin didn't budge. And when push came to shove, this dude got pushed off the balcony of their house and fell to his death. Rest in peace, you will not be missed. Dude got bodied by a 5'4" girl who weighs as much as a pincushion. Amo always knew that her mom sold her, and she knew that the man didn't really love her, but she chose to ignore reality so she could feel better. Believing the opposite kept her together, and in a way, she and Rudo are the same. Those boots kept Amo sane the same way those gloves kept him sane. We were also able to find out that the man with the angel wings was the one who killed Recto. And when Rudo found out about this, he was hyped. But he's been waiting for the day to pack them boys up and make them apologize at Recto's grave. Anyway, I do feel bad for Amo. Did she low-key deserve those punches in the moment? Yeah. Did she deserve all those years of suffering? Hell nah. Poor girl was just lonely. She deserves a bunch of friends and all the hugs she can afford. I slightly apologize for slandering and making fun of her. From now on, I'll reserve such unpleasantries for Fraudka. The cleaners even offered to bring her back to HQ, but Amo said that she had some things to take care of. So after saying goodbye, they leave. Poor girl couldn't catch a break though, closed the door, and immediately ran into Jabber. I would also like to add that there's no way this dude is making it past 35. 25 might be a stretch too. This dude is rocking no mask in no man's land and is constantly drugging and poisoning himself. Low key, him and Mau Mau will be best friends. I need to see some fan art of them cooking in the kitchen. After getting the info that they needed from Amo, the crew heads home. I know driving in the ground gotta be worse than driving in Africa, bro. When I lived in Kenya, 90% of the roads I was on were unpaved. A few bumps aren't bad, but a few bumps turn into a lot of bumps over the course of a few hours. Mix that with Engine's whack-ass driving, and you got a recipe for disaster. Anyway, they make a couple quick stops on the way home. One at the doctor's office. Y'all know that she's August and Aisha's grandma? She actually had hair back in the day, that's crazy. On the way home, they heard that Semu was having trouble with some gangbangers, but let it be known, this was no problem for her.
Huh? What makes you think I'm a woman? Huh? Gotcha. I knew y'all were gullible, but damn.
My black queen pulled up on them with no fear. Mind you, these niggas pulled up with AKs, ARs, and a damn rocket launcher. But peep how she was moving, bruh. Weaved the rocket launcher, threw it back at him, God damn. Weave the bullets, hand behind their back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Weave some more bullets. Knocked out this bum. And after that, it was all over. Some of you were way too goated to be sitting behind that desk, man. She kicks ass. It seems like these punks were here for Rudo, meaning that our friends the Raiders probably tipped them off with some information on purpose. No matter though, as long as the squad's with him, Rudo won't have to worry. And what's a better way to prepare for what's coming next than having a big team dinner? Although dinner is quite the subjective term for whatever the hell this is. You ain't African if you've never had this before. Ass meal, bro. Niggas eating straight dinosaur. What the hell could this possibly be? Deep fried eyeball? I know that isn't chicken. They're out here eating mystery meat. And this? I don't even want to know what this is, bruh. At least the rice looks normal. Piss colored water ain't helping though. Out here looking like Flint, Michigan. We also meet some of the other cleaners. They're from Team Child. You know, I still don't know why they have children on the squad, but you know, it's whatever. The girl in the kaiju costume is Gita. She's so adorable. I know Kinta would love her. And the pacifier kid is Deer. Rudo doesn't like Miss Kaiju too much, which is low-key funny because he definitely doesn't mind when Rio is all over him. And he takes a seat next to this guy in the hoodie. And he was like, hey, I was listening to your convo. You got the Raiders after you? Damn, that's crazy. I heard they got a new leader and he's tough as hell. They be robbing niggas and shit. Speaking of which, hey, peep this real quick. And this man pulls out Amo's boots. Then he took off his coat, grabbed Rudo's neck, and said,
Here's some free intel. The Raiders' new leader is the man who's got his hand around your neck.
Rudo was pissed, and them boys wasted no time getting into gear. But it was a trap. Rudo ends up getting thrown into a portal, and when they grab him, everyone else is sent in as well. Besides the supports. Love how the second they saw the ops, they immediately locked in. All of them pulled up to the middle, just to Aura Farm. The entire gang's here. The Raiders end up separating the cleaners with some trash, and each of them get ready to face off with one another. But Rudo and the boss have a talk. I'll get to Rudo and the boss next vid, but for now, I'm gonna focus on this first fight. Zanka versus Jabber. Round 2. Zanka better lock the hell in. We all know how that boy Jabber did him last fight. He's 0 for 1. They start going crazy. Zanka weaved the slash, blocked the other, parried this, but Jabber blocks and weaves over. Look at this fucking frame, bruh. No nigga should be moving this fluid. Jabber's dead ass that troll, bro. I know he is now here emoting mid-fight. Nah, nah, da boo boo. Ass dance, bro. Then this dude finds some toxic fumes and touches them for no reason. Zanka was making the same faces as me, bruh. What is wrong with this dude? Took the poison and put it into his left claw. Then he threw it at Zanka, and I was a little worried, but he blocked that. Then he flung the entire rock at him, goop and all. I was like, oh yeah, good stuff, Zanka. But peep Jabber. That boy wasn't concerned at all. He was elated. And then...
Good luck, Jabber, you genius!
Nigga, is this nigga giggling? Oh, nah. We then see Jabber's true power. Bro was out here rocking the Shikai and a Bankai as a giver. Look at Zanka. This dude knows he's cooked. Bro's been getting fried by a guy who wasn't even trying. And even worse, Jabber is saying something. Zanka, it's okay, bro. You can go all out too now with this devious ass green. While knowing good and well that bumka fraud ass ain't doing jack. Hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby dude. What do you think Frog is gonna do with a stick? A stick! Nigga pulled into a sword fight with a stick! I can use a stick! You can use a stick! Yo, grandma can use a fucking stick, man! She doesn't even have a power either, bro. It's just a regular old stick with a couple claws to make it look cool. Zanka knew he was finished, bruh. Jabber, a grown-ass man, jumping up and down with bleed. You can tell he's black because even when he jumps, he doesn't crease those shoes. That boy Zanka was fighting for his life. This dude Jabber was out here throwing tornadoes at this man. Then he tried coming in all tough with the slash. But peep this! Bro hopped out the dust like the boogeyman. Stomped on him, cornered him, and Zanka had to use his teeth to avoid getting killed. His next move was clean though, I can't even lie. That double rib shot was valid. Then he came in with this clean kick, and I was like, okay, let him cook. But after Jabber struck back with that shot to the leg, it was over. Jabber looked disappointed as hell, stabbed him, and that was that. We then get some of Zanka's backstory. He was a kid from a noble family who worked hard to become a member of their military guard. Unfortunately for him though, he came to realize that he wasn't really like that thanks to this baddie over here. Even worse, when his class went to pick weapons that they would use for combat, he ended up choosing a random ass stick, thinking that it was powerful. Turns out, it was just some garbage that they forgot to throw out. Dude was so embarrassed that he hid in the hole for days. But he ended up meeting Engine and he talked him out of it. and it seems like he's actually about to turn up. He grabs his assist staff, and even though he's still bleeding, he's ready to go. Oh yeah, Zanka, show me something. Show me something.
She like the way that I dance. She like the way that I move. She like the way that I rock.
This nigga is so ass. All that talk about, I'll show you that a mediocrity can be a natural talent, just to get molested by Timu King Von. Try. And even worse, this dude was getting sturdy on him. Bro was getting emoted on after taking the L. All those hits, all that damage he did, just for the guy you fought to be moving like Cinderella after the fade. What a joke. I never want to hear Zonka yes in my life again. 0 for 2 is crazy. He's already top 2 bums in new gen manga. Right up there with that worthless fraud Hiruhiko. Jabber out here laughing his ass off, but Zonka too, bruh. Getting done like this is nasty work. Anyway, that's it for today. I'll cover the rest of the series once season 1 is done, so don't worry. And my bad for taking 4 months. Like, that's on me. But yeah, anyway, see y'all next time. I love you. Goodbye.